Hey, hi all. Welcome back to Beer Knowledge Center. In this today's session, we'll talk about lambda expressions. What is lambda expression? How it is going to use it as part of our regular development. So, as part of delegates, we have discussed different delegates yesterday: single cast and multicast, and also anonymous method passing to the delegate. Now, this lambda expression also a kind of delegate which is going to execute anonymous code and return the output. Okay, so here anonymous code is nothing but code which is not having a method name, right? And function body is only having it, and with that we are going to create delegates. Coming to the lambda expressions, to create a lambda expression, we are going to use equal greater than symbol. Okay, so let me define lambda expressions are right any expression, okay, that uses right the operator equal greater than, which we call it as, or which we read as, right, goes to. Okay, so lambda expressions are an example of delegates. Lambda expressions are an example of right delegates and can be right created using block of lines and take inputs and return output optionally. This is optionally when you return an output or not, it's all about the requirement, how you're doing it. So to define lambda expression, right, to define lambda expressions, right, we use the type called function T, right, to define the delegate and define the delegates and returns an output. So this is what we are going to use function T to define the delegate and returns the output, right? And if you want to mention multiple lines, we are going to use action T, right, for delegates that will not return an output. Okay, syntax of right the lambda expression is input member or input parameter equal greater than right expression. Here input parameter means input parameter list, right? And right side it will be like the output, right? Or the block of statement you are going to mention it here. For example, x goes to x multiplied by x. That means x is going to hold right the square of x, right? So x is an parameter that returns right the square of x. Similarly, x comma y equal or goes to right x multiplied by y. Okay, so here x and y are input parameters and that returns multiplication of the two numbers. Okay, so let us look at the example program to understand more on this, right? I'm going to define int number equal to 64. I'm defining my delegate. It is taking integer and returning double value, and my delegate name is square root, right, equal to x equal to sorry x goes to right math dot right square of sqrt, it seems square root x, so that it will square the x value and keep into the x. Okay, and that I'm going to print it right line of right square root is right square, here my delegate name is square root right of right I'm going to give a number. This is square root, my delegate name. Okay. Can we see in the Visual Studio for more understanding? Yeah. Let me show you in my Visual Studio, right? So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to define equal to 64. Okay. Now I'm going to define my delegate, right? So I have to use function, that is func t, right? That means int, return is double, right? My delegate name is square root equal to x equal to, or x goes, right? Math dot sqrt, square root of x. Now console dot right line of, right, the square root, right, of num is understood. Here square root is my delegate name. I'm passing this value. Clear? So I'm just giving this way, and I'm going to give this dollar. So this is kind of interpolate operator which will resolve my value. Understood? So when I run this and see what is going to happen, looking at here, 64 is my number I given. The square root is 8. That means 8 eights 64. Similarly, you can create for other any value by just passing func, is a kind of a lambda expression keyboard. We are using it for defining delegate function. Int return is in a kind of input parameter type. Double is output. Okay. So this is all about how we are going to define this lambda expression. Okay, so now coming back here, right, we're going to talk about, right, this action of t. What is this? So we can use this type action t when we want to use a code block instead of single statement. We use this when we right when we want to use block of statements instead of single line. Okay, so example, right? Same, I'll do one thing. I'll define some names, right? I'll take a list variable here, list string names equal to new of list string. Okay, it's just creating a list names, right? I'll do this in Visual Studio for more understanding. Okay, I'm going to define here list string names equal to new of list string, right? Now here I'm going to define my delegate action of here a string, because I'm going to hold and return string. Hence I'll say some name I want to give it here for my delegate. Let's say obj delegate 2, right, equal to a name goes, right. Here I have to specify the action body like this way. Action of string obj delegate 2 equal to name of, this way I'm going to specify here console dot right line of, right, dollar of hi, and this is the name I'm giving so that it will print dynamically. Now here I'm going to add my array add of a name, right. This is what my delegate. Here I'm going to call my delegate, right, of, right, BRR of Ramana. It's like that. So when you call this, right, it is going to here and it is assigning to this name variable and printed first, and then it adds to names list. Let me try this. We look at here, hi BRR, hi Ramana, right? When it is calling here, it is printing fast and it adds to names list. Okay. It is going to refer my all the names. So if you want to print the stuff, right, for I int I equal 0, int I equal to 0, I less than equal to names dot count, because this is list, and inside of this you can print right line of, right, names of I. Let's see now this how it is happening. It is printing your names as well. This is something, and you have a multiple lines. Here I have multiple lines. Then I'm going to use action lambda expression, right? This is something you need to use, and when you are passing a multiple lines instead of single line, okay? And don't want to return any value from a delegate. This is called a statement lambda, since the body of the lambda is a collection of statements, right? Aka a code block. Aka a code block. Note that delegates can access variables that are declared outside of the delegate. So this can access any variable which is going to define outside of that delegate as well. Okay. So now let's go back here, right? This is something we are talking about, this action part and this function part. Function, basically function and action, both are going to use it for defining a delegate. Function is going to take input as input parameter and output, and action is going to define only input, it won't return anything, right? And function we use it for a single line of statement, and action we can define multiple lines as part of anonymous code. Okay, are clear? Is it? I think everything is clear. So lambda expressions, or any expression that uses operator called equal greater than symbol, and which we call it as goes to. So the lambda expressions are kind of delegates which will take input and return the output. To define a delegate using lambda expressions, we are going to use function of t and action of t. Function of t is going to return, take input and give an output. But action of t is not going to return any output, and we use it only when you have multiple lines instead of your function body. Okay, thanks for listening to this video, and please subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.